So Rockstar drops, I would say, an even bigger newswire today than yesterday's, detailing a ton of the quality of life changes coming to the game in this update. There's a lot of good stuff in here, and also quite a few controversial changes, but we're gonna go over all those right now. Starting with vehicle customization, enhancements, and changes, all vehicles with access to the LS Carmi will be able to be equipped with low grip tires, giving players even more customization options when modifying vehicles at the LS Carmi. This is something I know a lot of car guys will be very happy about. You can now basically make any car into a drifting car. And I know a lot of people used to glitch to get this. They used to like merge their vehicles to get low grips on them for vehicles outside of the tuners class. Well, now you won't have to do that. Vehicles will be delivered faster when requesting from the mechanic, and I'm hoping that new speed is on the same level as the MC spawning, but this is just a great feature change overall. It was always so annoying to be waiting for cars to spawn in, and then what's even more annoying is when you're waiting for the car to spawn in and then you die and then you have to wait the cooldown and you don't get your car. So hopefully with this new change that won't ever happen again. Players will no longer incur a charge for destroying another player's weaponized personal vehicle, avoiding penalties for those who return fire on and successfully neutralize attackers. Thank you. I've been saying for such a long time now that weaponized vehicles should not have insurance costs for destroying them. You know, getting charged for defending yourself was just so silly. Now that is being removed, which is very awesome to see. The MOC and Avenger will now accept any vehicle that can fit. Before, it was just the weaponized vehicles that could be customized there, I'm pretty sure. So I guess you can bring like any old civilian car and customize it there now. We're getting 2 new property slots with this update, which is what Allocator leaked to us a while ago, but now it's officially confirmed. The car websites will have new filters and browsing shortcuts, which can be tabbed with LB and RB or L1 and R1. I made a video about this a while back about having more filters, especially a discounted filter would be neat to have. Hopefully they do something along the lines of that. They then say, plus the effectiveness of the homing missiles on the Pegasi Oppressor Mark II has been reduced, and its countermeasures will now have increased cooldowns and fewer uses. Meanwhile, the Sparrow helicopter will have chaff and flare countermeasures available when modified inside the Kasatka to make it less vulnerable to enemy fire. And as with all other areas of GT Online, we will continue to monitor player feedback on this change and how it impacts the streets of Los Santos. So we got a little more info on the Oppressor Mark II nerf right there, at least the countermeasure part. The chaff and flares will now have increased cooldowns, and I'm gonna say the amount of countermeasures will probably be slashed in half, so you have 5 chaff and 10 flares. I really wish they would elaborate on how exactly the missiles are going to be less effective though. They've used that same wording so many times now. Like, is the damage going to be lower, the blast radius, the tracking? We can only assume until we know in the next 4 days. The Sparrow getting countermeasures is something that I did not see coming. I love the Sparrow even without them. Maybe they will also add them to the Sea Sparrow that you can have in your hangar, because I don't think that one has any countermeasures either. Next up, we have some general improvements. When delivering security contracts back to the agency, players will be able to enter via helicopter or walk in through the entrance on the roof rather than needing to go to the front door at ground level. Good change. When managing an auto shop business, your auto shop staff will now be much more likely to successfully deliver a customer's vehicle without issue. So basically, your staff learn how to drive. Before, they would always get into accidents and ruin the sale value, so hopefully that doesn't happen as much. We'll now be able to jog inside nightclubs and the casino, which will make getting around those interiors much faster. Players will be able to purchase max ammo for all weapons at once in the interaction menu. Players will also have easier access to snacks and armor through a single input while the weapon wheel is open. Plus, if a player fails and quick restarts a mission, snacks will be your stock to however many they started the mission with. Now, I do have a few concerns and questions about that snack change. Number 1, how is it going to know which snack or body armor to equip when you use the quick function? You know, maybe we assign a default armor and snack to use when using this function, because not all snacks are created equally. Some of them heal more than others. I'm assuming the snack and armor method is still going to be in the interaction menu though, because you'll still need access to them while you're in a vehicle, and you can't use the weapon wheel while in a vehicle, so they kind of need to still be there, and also to check inventory. The other concern I have is with PvP. Now, up close, I don't think this is going to be too much of an issue because you can't fire your weapon while the weapon wheel is open regardless. Like, spamming snacks while you're getting shot at in close range when you can't fight back is going to be useless. But in sniper fights, I can see this being very annoying to deal with. Let's say you hit the enemy during a sniper fight, they open the weapon wheel, and while they're continuing to strafe you, they just pop some snacks and armor, and boom, back up to full health in an instant. It might get very annoying that way, but maybe you won't be able to spam them that quick. We'll just have to wait and see how it all works out. I'm assuming this also skips the animation though, because if it doesn't, I mean, the feature might as well not even exist. As far as the other snack changes on missions, thank God for that. It's so annoying failing a heist a few times and then not having any snacks, so you're kind of just screwed and you have to just restart from the beginning and go back to free mode to get snacks because they don't save the amount before you died. You'll now be able to hang up the phone on all contacts when they call you, even those annoying Dave calls that you had to pause the game to skip before. PC players will now be able to hide the in-game text chat, and I'm very surprised this wasn't an option already, to be honest. Most games this comes standard with, being able to hide the text chat, but, GT Online is a different breed, I guess. You'll now be able to hide from all those modders spamming the text chat with their Discord advertising modded account services. To reduce instances of griefing, the KD ratio will no longer be affected by kills made in free mode. Going forward, this ratio will only be affected by kills scored in competitive gameplay. So all those weirdos who make accounts only to go KD farm in jets all day long will no longer see any benefit from doing that, because KD will only count now in competitive modes such as death matches, which is where it should have been from the beginning. This is a very good change. Although I'm not sure if this is really going to change much, because what I've been saying forever now is this game needs an assisted suicide functionality that does exist in death matches, where it gives a player a kill if they injure someone and that player happens to blow themselves up or die from anything that the player didn't cause. The kill should be then awarded to the last player that hit that guy. But I'm all for this KD change. I think it's good. You'll be able to spend more time on the Cayo scope out after your initial visit, which only affects casual players, I would assume, because most players don't need more than a few attempts at scoping out the island. They don't usually get caught. The race creator will be getting a lot of updates, such as increases to checkpoint limit, increased player limits for transform races, and the number of fixtures that can be removed on the latest generation of consoles. And all platforms will be able to make RC Bandito races now. They'll have a ghost to first checkpoint option that's going to be added to additional race types. And there's going to be an anti-griefer ghosting option so players can't drive backwards and crash into everyone, along with the ability to set a specific time of day for a race and scaling checkpoint sizes. I really wish those anti-griefer ghosting options were added to all existing races though, and not just an option for newly created ones, because that would really help out a lot. And now we get into the payout increases. All standard race types will pay out an average of 50% more money, and premium races will pay out more money, along with players 4th and below also getting a paycheck. Adversary modes are all the same way. They will pay an extra 50% more money, and I'm not exactly sure if this is enough to get people back into playing them outside of event weeks, to tell you the truth. I was hoping for at least double pay on both races and adversary modes. At the very least, adversary modes deserve double pay than what they have now. For heists, players joining in on heist setups will get 50% more pay. The minimum cut for finales is now 15%, which is what I thought it was always the minimum. I don't think you can ever give someone 0%. I could be wrong though. It's been a while since I've done the old heists. And the heist setup cost for all the heists has been reduced to $25,000, so no more $100,000 setup costs, for which I think is Doomsday Heist Act 3 that has that. The Fleeca Job, Humane Labs Raid, Prison Break, and Series A heists will see a 75% increase in pay. And the Pack Standard, as well as all the Doomsday heists, will see a 50% increase in pay. And again, I don't know if this will be enough, just because of the requirement of having 4 players partake in the heist for the OG heists. I think the Casino heist is still going to be the best option for a group heist. And Cayo, well, let's talk about Cayo, shall we? So all heists will have the exact same cooldown of 1 in-game day or 48 minutes in real life time when playing as a group. And in their own words, we will also adjust specific aspects of the Cayo heist finale to better balance a player's time spent in GT Online. Solo playthroughs of the Cayo heist finale will trigger a cooldown of 3 in-game days. And after stealing a high-value primary target in the Cayo heist finale, the higher-value primary targets will appear less often for the next 72 hours, while the value of secondary targets will increase, and this is intended to encourage exploration and cooperation between players. So Cayo is catching a pretty fat nerf, not in the payout category, but the cooldown. 3 in-game days, ooh, that's killer, man. I know a lot of people aren't going to like this change at all, but the facts are that Cayo was just insane for grinding, and it just changed the player mentality so much to only do solo Cayos and nothing else for money, which isn't really good for the entirety of the game, having just one money method so good that you don't want to participate in any other of the game's activities. I've also said this a lot, that Cayo needs to be better with groups, because basically the game's punishing you for playing with a group at the moment. You're way better off doing it solo, and you get more money doing it solo than you would with a group. So it looks like the increases in value to the secondary targets are going to be a change to influence group play for this heist. We'll just have to wait and see how much the value actually increases by. MC members and associates will see pay increases. Baseline salaries are doubled across the board. MC members and associates who partake in sell missions will also have an increased payout. I think before it was around 35,000 or so that you got paid for helping on MC sales. I can't remember now. It's been a very long time. It would be nice to see that number go to like 60 or 70,000. And for associates, I don't even think you got paid for helping. I think you just got the salary every 15 minutes. There's also going to be new first-time boosts. For executives, you'll get a 3 times payout boost on your first export mixed goods sell mission. Biker businesses will produce stock 3 times faster, return to their normal rate after the first sale is completed. Gun runners will have their first research item produced at 3 times the normal rate, same with the stock production speeds. And for nightclub owners, business battles will return 3 times the normal amount of goods until the first sale is completed, and that first sale will also award double money. And finally, MC Club work, club challenges, clubhouse contracts, and member challenges, as well as VIP work will award double money for a limited time after Tuesday's update. And this isn't just for new players either, this will be in effect for all players after Tuesday's update. So your first sale on any of this stuff will be affected after the update. They specify that in the newswire. But those are all the changes coming to the game next week. It's a lot of stuff, man. A lot of changes happening on Tuesday. Much more than I expected. I am kind of disappointed that there was no mention of the orbital cannon anywhere on here though. Would have been nice to see some reworks to that. But as we all know, there are things that get changed with each update that they don't mention officially anywhere on the patch notes, so there's still a chance that something could change with that. Even so, I am very much looking forward to this update. Let me know what you guys think about all the changes coming in the comments. Do you think they're good, and how do you feel about the Cayo nerf? If you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like, as well as subscribe to my channel for more GTA Online content. I want to give a huge shout out to all my channel members for support. If you'd like to become a member for some exclusive perks, you can either use the join button or the link that's down in the description. And as always, thanks for watching, and have a great day.